Right, okay. Let me get started by saying I have been putting off starting redoing these crypto videos for a long time. Obviously, for those of you that know me, I was a project founder for many years. I'm actually a project founder of another project. Regardless, this isn't about me. I delayed starting the videos, but this was just like, I have to do this fucking video. Like, I mean, this is insane. The crypto space has gone absolutely batshit crazy, and this underlines it like more than anything I have ever seen. Now, I'm gonna be looking into as part of this video the Libra token launch. For those of you that don't know, Libra is a meme coin that was launched recently, and like most meme coins, what do? They pump up and then they dump down really, really aggressively. Practically every meme coin does this, and I think just watching this interview is like the most polarizing kind of interview you could possibly ever even imagine with respect to meme coins. Like, it is insane. Like, frankly, absolutely nuts. In particular, essentially the how just brazenly this guy, Hayden Davis, who's part of the Libra launch team, just openly admits to practically about 20 different financial crimes, and just is very kind of like, oh, that's just the way it is. Anyone who thinks that it's not like this in meme coins and is not part of these insider groups, then ha, fuck you guys. Like, it's insane. But look, I suspected that this type of thing was going on, not because I'm like the messiah or anything. It's just that I've been in crypto since 2016 now. It's nearly a decade, and you begin to spot the signs. I mean, meme coins in general for me are literally the kind of the absolute lowest of the low in terms of what the crypto market is about. Does that mean I've completely stayed clear of not all of them? More or less. I've got one or two where I've known that somebody who's like reliable, that these people are trying to do something. And most time it's like, well, if it's a meme coin, it's like, well, they're trying to do something with utility, which doesn't make it a meme coin anyway. I don't know, that's open for debate depending on those of you who want to go into semantics. But anyway, I digress. Blah 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 blah. The Libra, so the Libra token launch, right? So Libra token, for those of you that don't know, I mean, I actually don't know if this is I don't think this is the same token, but basically it pumped like crazy. So we'll just quickly open up kind of Cointelegraph here. You can see here, right? Okay, so this is showing you that basically $170 million worth of liquidity was pulled from this token at the top here when it hit a $4.5 billion market cap. And for those of you that don't know, that this token was endorsed by the Argentinian president, the president of Argentina. Right, so this is the same as like Trump coming along and going, here's my meme coin, or the first lady coming along and going, here's my meme coin, like Trump and Melania. For those of you that don't know, here's the Trump, and even Trump's coin, look, pumps up, then comes down. Melania up, and then all the way down. Like, this is a pattern that every single meme coin follows. But well, not every single one, 99.99%. Now, what's crazy about this one is that basically these guys that did it got the president of Argentina to obviously endorse it in several ways, and then since that point basically deleted his tweet. I mean, for those of you that want to go, let's see if we can find it, right? Argentina president, like, what did he tweet? So it's just like, by the way, look, news coming in that he's kind of facing charges for fraud and whatever else. And frankly, when you listen to this interview, I mean, there's not that you can, not a lot, there's not a lot else you could kind of say to sort of like basically argue with. But let's see if we can find his tweet. Well, this is what he's getting charged for. Blah blah blah. Anyway. Can't find it, but that doesn't matter. By and large, the important thing is that he did send this tweet out. Then he deleted this tweet after the dump happened, right? 87.4 million got erased from this market cap, like within no time at all. This is what these red candles indicate. I mean, it's just insane. But anyway, I am digressing a lot. What I wanted to do is focus on this interview, call out to this guy voidzilla. You know, I've never come across him before as a key opinion leader, but you know. This interview is absolutely quality, and he's bang on with like everything he's kind of saying here in the parts where he challenges the guy. And then the thing is, I don't necessarily want to listen to the whole interview, but this is just me kind of adding my own sort of thoughts on top of this interview. And just for those of you that are like ever thinking about meme coins or unsure about them and whatever, if you touch meme coins after you see this, I mean. I don't know what else to kind of say. I mean, you can say sometimes people are beyond saving. But anyway, let's just... so, summary. It's just... I'm actually like... cannot fucking believe this. It's insane. But, yeah, just summary. Meme coin launchers tweeted about by the Argentinian president. Then insiders pull all liquidity, dump on retail, and then... basically, the community starts to do its own investigations. And I mean, I hope Zach XBT does something on this as well. And they start to draw parallels between, you know, basically all this insider trading that's going on. And then this guy, who's part of this team, who's one of the big four creators here of Libra, a guy called Hayden Davis, comes out and starts to talk about his involvement. And, you know, first of all, I have to say, the guy's got cojones to come out and do this, and in some ways it's like, well, you know, you could say at least he had the balls to come out and front against the community. And the really like just scary thing about it is his warped views on what is like reasonable and ethical. Anyway, like I've just been chatting about like 7 or 8 minutes non-stop, just kind of going, I can't believe this. I'm just gonna start playing this interview. And pause it at moments, and you guys can see for yourself like what is going on.
For the last 48 hours, I've been investigating the Argentinian meme coin disaster known as Libra. If you don't know, the president of Argentina posted publicly supporting this meme coin, and subsequently it has all crashed and people have wondered where the money is, with $100 million seeming to go missing. Now, I've been in touch with the key players in this, trying to get answers. And what you're about to hear is an hour-long interview with Hayden Davis, who is the main guy behind the launch and a lot of the token decisions. He currently sits with $100 million in his possession that he's trying to find out what to do with. You will discover through the course of this call that it is not the first time we have been talking. I have been trying to communicate with him for, as I said, the last 24 to 48 hours. And this is not the interview for like pushing from my view, because I wanted to get information. I feel like the biggest thing we're missing is answers. And so I was just listening a lot of this call. I do think we got some incredible admissions, but I wanted to say it's not my characteristic like, scammer.
He says this, and what he's really saying here is he doesn't go after him with like a pickaxe, you know. But actually, the guy, you know, really kind of challenges some of that warped viewpoints that I was giving earlier, and about what's ethical and what is not ethical. You know, so again, you know, good on him for that. Now, let's go into the start. Let's just skip forward slightly.
Thanks. One of the issues.
So I wanted to give him the chance to kind of dump all the information out at once. The interview starts abruptly because he starts with some off-the-record stuff that I had to cut out. But yeah, hopefully.
And it's crazy, like he says he starts with off the stuff record that he has to cut out, which makes you just think like, what on earth, like seriously, what on earth was this guy kind of like admitting to or telling him off the record, when you hear what he tells him on the record that he's happy for him to report, which is mental. Yeah.
This sheds some light on what's going on.
I'll just start. I can just start talking about certain things. One of the issues.
Sorry, one more thing. What I love about what voidzilla does here is he does give the guy just like, you know, Hayden Davis, he gives him enough rope to hang himself. It's like you see, like sometimes like police officers do, where like, and we see a lot of bad practice as well. But of course, where there's good practice. It's a case of actually probably making them feel comfortable, giving the guy kind of like, not being, when we talk about like when you give your therapy and non-judgmental and yada yada yada, and he does do a lot of that. And I think that just sets the safe space for this guy Hayden to keep talking. So again, what fantastic work by you, Mr. Voidzilla. Very impressed.
With Libra. And what we
wait,
try
hold
and
on.
avoid.
I just want to know, can we consider this part on the record? Because I don't want to include the stuff about, all that kind of stuff. That's not like anyone's business.
What's he saying there? Like something eek. It sounds like it ends with eek. I'd love to know, but
I appreciate you sharing that context. The Libra stuff.
Yeah.
If anyone has any ideas of what he might have said there with the eek at the end, like was it like Mozambique? I don't know what words finish with eek. Please put it in the comments, because I'd love to get at the bottom of it. I mean, I did a unit on investigative journalism on my undergrad, so I'm like kind of like pretty on this.
Is sort of the meat and potatoes
I
of
can
what
do,
I wanted to
like
talk about.
the Libra stuff is fine. Like the Libra stuff is fine.
Okay, go ahead.
So like one of the issues with Libra, right? I mean, there's so many details in this story, but one of the issues with Libra is when you launch on Meteora, right, and you're trying to avoid all these snipers.
Meteora is like a decentralized platform where you provide liquidity and people can buy the token from the platform directly. Essentially, just in a nutshell for people that know, it's Solana based.
There's not like there's this whole context around like shitloads of insiders. That's not what's going on. What's going on is you have these, I don't know how they're doing it, but these expert snipers, like guys that are clipping 1.7, 2 million, 800,000, 1.2 million into the charts. And then what you have is, because on big launches, all this volume's going to come in. And then you're like, fuck, this guy, like at one point, one of the top wallets, which for some reason still hasn't sold a bunch, I don't understand why, but had $57 million, right? And had a 5 billion market.
Now, what I can confirm is that there are snipers, and I know that because even going back to 2020, 2021, when the Chain Guardians token launched, which was, I was part of the founding team for, it got sniped. That's not the fact that, in many ways, it's very difficult to solve that. What we learn later about what he's saying about the sniping is kind of crazy, but it is true. There are snipers, and in many ways, it's almost impossible to stop.
Cap, or 4.5, which is what Libra was at. That's still going to crush the chart. It's not like that's 5 billion. It's not like that's 4.5 billion dollars. So then you have to make a real-time decision where you're like, okay, do I pull do I swap some of the liquidity out to protect the floor, knowing that I know that there's more marketing plans coming, or do I just let the chart get crushed?
So what he's saying here is that when when the token was launched, he can see the snipers have basically stolen a load of the liquidity, right? So, which is always a risk when you launch a token for a number of different variables. No point getting into. Now, so what he's saying is, like, do we pull a load of the liquidity that we've got, i.e. the money that we've made from selling this token, and that would be there to kind of like support the kind of token? Do we just pull it so that it's no longer there? Which essentially people would say it's a rug pull. If you pull a liquidity, you pull the ability to trade that token effectively. So he's saying, but so we do that ourselves because we can see otherwise there's a risk the snipers do it, right? So that's what he's trying to say here.
Right, and that's what happened. Every single one of these launches, that's what happened.
Every single one.
Where it's like 3 to 10 guys get these massive chunks. They're not good snipers, right? They're all bad snipers. They're just looking to unload their whole position. You can't track it. You can't find it. It doesn't matter if you subpoena it. It doesn't, like, it takes forever. It doesn't work. And so every launch, right, this happens. Now, what happened with Libra specifically, which I'm happy to share, even though Javier and his team have told me that there's a pretty substantial interview coming tomorrow that'll be live on TV. I don't think that's...
So I don't know when this was posted on the 17th today. So tomorrow, apparently, Javier Milei, excuse my pronunciation, who is the this chap here, he's the president of Argentina, who tweeted about Libra, is apparently doing a TV interview tomorrow about it. So it'll be interesting to see that, right?
It's like super publicly known, but like he's gonna basically clear up A, me, and then B, Libra as the project, because he's obviously under scrutiny. But basically what happened was when it launched, our goal was, okay, can we collect enough liquidity, which again, people can say we're pieces of shit or not, but the goal was to connect enough liquidity because Malay was going to do another video, and then there were some other
Oh my god. Collect enough liquidity. In other words, sell enough tokens to get enough cash. Right? That was their goal. Like before. So their goal was to actively sell on the users that were buying. Now look, yeah, you need to make sure that there is market making. You need to make sure that there are enough tokens for people to buy, of course. I mean, there is traditional finance standards around stocks and shares about making sure that there's enough liquidity either side, yada yada yada. But to actively collect as much as, I mean, come on, man. Like, what, you try to justify dumping? What the fuck is this? Like, it's insane what he's saying. Now, a project should release some tokens and collect some liquidity. Okay, actively sell, the way he's phrasing it, sell as much as we can, because then actually what he's saying is, oh, I can protect against other snipers, or B, like, we've got the president that's going to come along and tweet again about the project. What the fuck, man?
I won't name them, but there were some other high-level people.
Other high-level people outside of the president here, like, who, you know, we'll never know probably now.
That were going to interact, post, etc., market the video, right? So our goal was, can we take enough liquidity off to get all the snipers out, or at least control them, so that when the chart dips down, it's not going to crush the whole project. Have Malay do the second round of videos, and then inject all the capital back in, or at least the vast majority.
This is just pure market manipulation at this point. Like, he's saying, we sell enough, take enough money, let the snipers get out that have already kind of collected this and they're going to dump on the project, and then get more marketing behind it by high-ranking officials, including Malay, and then pump it again, repump it. Market manipulation at its finest. This is not a decentralized market. This is not decentralization. This is manipulating a decentralized system in order to, you know, make financial gain or manipulate a financial market. Now, he goes on later on to say, well, meme coins are not financial markets, so yada, yada, sure, whatever. But, like, that is what's happening here. Like, it's and the way he's just brazenly kind of describing what he's doing. For lots of people that are just general public, you may not totally understand this. For those of you in meme coin, you'll know exactly what he's saying, I would imagine. But it's just, for me, what I want to be the focus by is just kind of like how, just brazenly, just how kind of like it's rolling off his tongue, like this is the norm. And if this is the, and like, look, looking at it, it is the norm in meme coins. But to have somebody who's part of a really big meme coin launch, and we've got some more kind of exciting news coming about not the only one he's been involved in, is nuts. And it must be 2 or 3 different financial crimes he's already admitted to here. Look, like, he's trying to say that he's ethically trying to look after the longevity of the token and the project by controlling the snipers, getting them out, using the money that you've taken off the table to put it back in and then push it with the marketing. But that's financial manipulation. Like, you know, when the Chain Guardians tokens were launched, there were, in hindsight, when it was looked back on, there were snipers, but we weren't trying to manipulate their involvement. If anything, you try and proactively do everything you can to stop it. Inadvertently, they always seem to get something, but like, it's you know, to be trying to be kind of almost manipulate that in itself is well, anyway, let's keep.
And create like a mega Trump launch, basically. And I don't know. I still
mega
don't have
Trump launch, which, by the way, that's a mega Trump launch. So if you bought at $60, you'd be down 300-400%. Just FYI.
On exactly what happened with why he took the post down. I'm assuming there's some extreme political pressure that he got, and he panicked. As somebody in his position, I would feel rightly so. I mean, he's not like a crypto native person. And then we've been working through like, okay, what can we do from here? But like, you know, people are saying this is a rug pull. Like, that's not objectively true. There's still like
Not objectively true. I mean, how do you objectively describe a rug pull? I mean, what absolute ass is he talking?
there's what, 60 million on the bonding curve of liquidity
Oh, there's still a lot of money left, is what he's saying.
that's locked, right? It's at 300 million market cap. Like, it's not a rug. It's a plan gone miserably wrong with $100 million sitting in an account that I'm the custodian of, but I'm not. I would love instruction on what to do with it.
That's mad, isn't it? Like, let me just paraphrase what he has said there, right? They pulled 100 million in liquidity. He is the custodian, meaning he controls the wallet that has 100 million in, right? And then he's saying, I would love somebody to tell me what to do with it. Like, this is a token that hit 4.5 billion market cap. It was manipulated that the president of Argentina tweeted about that. He sat there holding 100 million for, not knowing what the hell to do with. Like, seriously, like, for those of you who don't know, I have a master's degree in script writing, and I'm just going on a little bit of a side rant here because that content and all that shit. I have a master's degree in script writing, and often you hear that phrase, like, in sport or on TV or whatever. It's like, you couldn't write this. And I sometimes go, well, I'm pretty sure I fucking could. I mean, like, I've spent a lot of years writing and I've created worlds and all sorts of shit. I'm pretty sure I could write this. But with this, it's almost like, for those of you who have seen Black Mirror, where, and if you haven't, you should, Charlie Brooker, great British writer, I think it's the first episode, he gets basically the president to fuck a pig. And it's like, sometimes you think, well, if he can write a story which justifies the president, the Prime Minister of the UK fucking a pig, then I'm pretty sure that people could write more or less anything you can think of. But this, I'm almost like, you'd struggle to write this and justify it, like, to a script editor who would check your script and go, this seems too far removed from reality. Even somebody like Charlie Brooker, who's justified his brilliance across British TV for decades, justifying the Prime Minister fucking a pig, I would imagine that his script editor would go, you'd really struggle to justify writing what is going on here right now. Like, it is insane.
I have no desire to be public enemy number one of how to make this happen. I'm not benefiting from this. My life is just in danger.
Yeah, so there's a few things I want to touch on there.
Yeah.
Thanks for that explanation. The 100 million, I think the view from the public is that, like, rug is a word at this point which is so widely used that it has, like, a colloquial meaning too. And it just means sort of like unfair value extraction. I think that's like kind of the...
Like, his explanation of all this is brilliant, and basically challenges back about the use of the rug pull, yada yada. I kind of did myself. I'm just going to skip that bit because this I want to get to just skip to the juicy bits of the interview at times, because I've listened to 80-90% of this and just kind of like alpha comment on top of it. This content needs to go far and wide. Like, it is literally a collective effort now for people to sit in front of a video or on Twitter or whatever fucking social platform you use. God, this is dog shit. I'm all for one for having like there's decentralized platforms and they need to exist for different reasons. But regulation on how to use those at times for where there's deliberate. Anyway, I'm digressing for now. Let's just
like a yes or no. Like, is Malay gonna make money on this?
No.
Right. My second question. Are the two people who were involved in this launch Manuel and Mauricio?
Yes.
From Tech Forum Argentina, yes?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Kit Protocol was going to run the nonprofit, or whatever it was going to be, like a foundation, right?
Yeah, honestly, like, yeah.
They didn't have much to do with it. And then you were going to launch the coin, but you weren't going to do the, like, distribution of the money.
So yeah. I can talk a little more about that. So, like, the plan, like, this was supposed to be an experiment, right? Like, Malay has a deep desire to put everything on chain.
Now, that's all good. That's all great. Look, I have been an advocate for putting, like, the spending of public money on chain, so that you can stop the insider fraudulent and corruption shit that goes on at a government level. It's that whole thing of like, who's watching the watcher, right? Like, who watches how our government, UK, US, whatever else it would be, how they spend the money and whether it's justifiable and stuff. There's no doubt that there's been money fucking pissed up the wall by every government in the world, and some purposefully, some not purposefully, I dare say. You know, there's this whole thing about corruption in politics. You know, I think recently Elon Musk and Donald Trump, you know, talked about putting like public spending on the blockchain. I think it's the best thing in the world. But here to like, you know, like justify the release of a fucking meme coin as an experiment to what? To like justify fucking Javier Milei putting public fund spending on the blockchain is just nuts. Like, you don't like basically run an experiment where there's hundreds of billions of dollars of public community funding on the line. That's not an experiment. Like, you know, and he's like, oh, this is an experiment gone wrong. It's insane.
Like, to make everything public, to make like all the.
Let's skip a little bit. Let's skip a little bit because that's all he's saying. He's justifying this is an experiment because we want to put all the money on chain. Bollocks.
Insiders had knowledge of the contract before it was out. All these, you know, KOLs, basically people in the know in the industry knew about the coin prior to launch, and therefore could have either one, just shared that fact with other people, which is bad because it gives people unfair advantages, but two, benefited from the knowledge themselves. I think a like very easy example is Dave Portnoy, who knew about the launch, like I think he said 2 weeks before you even before it ever came out, right? So he knew about it. Just as a quick amendment, although Dave claimed that he knew that it was probably coming out, he said he did not buy early or as an insider. I bought 10 minutes or so after Milei tweeted. I would have bought.
I don't know who the hell this guy is. Dave Portnoy? I probably should, right? Let's have a look. American businessman. Let's have a look. Social media personality. I'm not like great with, you know, US kind of persons of influence and interests and stuff, so, you know, forgive me. Social liberal, fiscally conservative, okay, philanthropy, irony, legal issues, oh, wonderful, sexual assault allegations, can't judge him off that. I guess it's only allegations by the sounds of it, but, you know, it's funny how much of that shit you get with people of influence in America at times, yeah. No need to go into some of that shit. But what is he just telling us? It's just a businessman and part of sports personality. Barstool Sports seems to be the big thing. Blog website, digital media, headquartered NYC, sports journalism. Okay, fair enough. All right, well, I gift that. Wow, what is this? Comments, sexual critics, rape culture. Comments have sparked debate. 2010. Like saying, even though I never condemn rape, if you're size 6 and you're wearing skinny jeans, you kind of deserve to be right. I mean, fuck me. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. 90, obviously, a lot of money generated here. The guy's obviously got a lot of money. Clearly a person of influence in social media and whatever else. I'm not, you know, I'm not gonna judge the guy off a 1 to 2 minute quick Google. There's often a lot more to kind of research to be done, so you can't kill him for a stupid comment either in this video. But ultimately, you know, it doesn't sort of doesn't fill you with much faith, does it? Really?
10 milli if I could have. That's how I was sold on this. So just to be clear, although he knew of its existence, his statement is that he did not trade early. I just wanted to make sure we had that in the story. He had time to put $5 million together, which he traded on, you know, this coin. Then he loses the money, ironically, and you refund him. And so...
Mad. Like, so the guy doing the interview basically pays this guy, Dave Portnoy, the money back that he lost. Has he done that with everyone who's lost money? Well, I would think not, right? Like, so again, that just goes to serve to validate the point that voidzilla is making here, that there's a lot of insider stuff going on here. Like, It's just fact.
That is like the kind of insider like benefits and unfairness that I think a lot of people are going to look at and go like, this is so rigged. He traded $5 million worth of it. And then even when he lost, you refund him.
Right. So a couple things. One, that was probably a mistake, to be honest with you. At the moment,
A mistake doing it or a mistake getting caught, right? Like, I think probably the latter.
I agree.
Whatever that was. I don't know when that was. Whatever it was, middle of the night, whatever. I'm going back and forth with him. I'm thinking, well, Malay is going to publicly support this. This is no big deal. I don't want Dave to lose money. I'm not thinking from the perspective of like,
don't want Dave to lose money. Like, not want everyone to lose money or give it an even playing field. I don't want Dave to lose money.
holy shit, everybody's going to get fucked on this. That's not the perspective. So I probably need to have a conversation with him, and I'm sure there'll be different terms that we talk about. As far as like people knowing about the token, I mean, like, look, I can't say that I or anybody that knew about that, or Manu or Mauricio, haven't told a singular soul. I can tell you very few people knew. The idea of insiders to me is always bullshit, because every meme coin I've ever known or invested in or been a part of, like, the people that benefit are the people that know, like, the people that benefit the most are the people that structure the deal, similar to any other business in the world. People that are closest normally make the most money or lose the most money, one of the two. So I think that's a bit of bullshit, and that's just like crypto people that are angry that they're like, there's always an unfair,
Honestly, man, like, this guy is like a Bond villain, isn't he? Like, oh, like, there's no such thing. Like, anybody who creates the meme coin they stand to make the most. That's just how it is. Go fuck you all.
unfair advantage if you're a genius on chain and you know how to game the system on Meteora. And there's 30 guys in the world that know how to do that better than anybody. So it's like,
yeah, but there's wait. There's unfair games, right? There's people who know everything about stocks. You can be Warren Buffett, but there's a difference between being Warren Buffett and being a guy with insider knowledge on like Pfizer Pharmaceutical and trading on your insider knowledge.
Yes,
so I think the frustration is people are frustrated that not that you're good at trading, but that you knew something, know what the public didn't know, and you traded on that information, which in the public markets it would be illegal. It would be insider trading.
Right. But on meme coins, A, it's not. And B, that's what happens on every single deal. I mean, every KOL, every single one globally.
Again, it's just like, nah, it's not. Because it's a meme coin and not like any other. I mean, the way that the guy just dismisses it is like, I don't know if that's actually legally, factually true, what he's saying there, like, i.e. that it's not a financial market. Like, regulation is still very new to the crypto in general, and like, I tell you what is gonna bring really aggressive regulation is shit like this, like the way that these systems are being manipulated to cause a lot of financial damage to people.
That's how their main money gets made. They know about a deal, they agree to a deal, and then they make money on the deal.
So what he's saying here is that calls worldwide, they make money because, like, they know about it, they agree to do it, and then they promote it and they sell, like in Web3. And that's true. What the guy is saying there is absolutely true. But that doesn't make it ethically right. If I suddenly, like, gain 1 million followers on YouTube and projects start coming to me and going, hey dude, I'm going to give you like 0.5% of our token supply for advisory, and then, you're just going to kind of like, talk about it and use your influence to get people to buy it, and then what we're going to do is we're going to sell it, like you're going to then sell it and make a shit ton of money. Like, that's not ethically right. Just because that's how the system works doesn't make it ethically right. I didn't even know that is how the system worked, but I've seen that system in play through a variety of different projects. And in many cases, there's not a damn thing you can do about it, because unfortunately, the vast majority of any human being are motivated to make money off their own back. Now, there are challenges to how that system works, though. There are people that come along and go, that's not cool. And there's certain people as well that key opinion leaders that'll go, I'm paid for this endorsement, And then you get other people who kind of like, and I won't name a name, but they'll go, don't buy what I buy. Like, if you do that, you're stupid. And then people buy what they buy anyway, and then they proceed to dump on them. I mean, everyone's just playing a lottery roulette at that point. Like, it's, if you want to do that, fine, whatever. Like, but just because that is the system that exists doesn't mean that people should try and change that system or challenge that system or make the system more fair. For a call to come along and go, yeah, I'm endorsing this token actually because I was paid to do it, or I get a proportion of the tokens, like, and kind of proactively kind of share that information. That is sharing information that is pertinent for people's decision making, because they know that they have an agenda, a motive, a reason to promote that. From a call side of things, their job is to bring attention to that, and if people they bring attention to that and people then like it and buy it, they like the attention that's been brought to it. That's fine. Like, that's okay. That's how influence works. That's how key opinion leading works. It's very different though from being deceitful around it, like not sharing that information, because then people are assuming that you may be just like talking about something because you think that actually objectively it's just a quality project. Now, you as a call, you can go, no, objectively I feel that that's a quality project. I don't think a call should talk about a project, full stop, period, unless they've done their own due diligence and they think that team's awesome. And with the amount of projects that calls talk about, I mean, some of them will talk about 30 on a... They clearly don't give a shit about the project. They're just doing it to try and pump bags. Now, that's not all. I think so. Certain calls, I think, are probably more on the ethically white. Some are more ethically black, and some are probably a lot of them in the grey. And I think, grey to white, basically, just don't be a nefarious motherfucker that just withholds information from people that actually has a material impact on the decisions that they make in their lives. Like, that shit bad. Like, in any walk of life, not just call opinion leading. Ah, man.
Like that. Like, if you're calling out that, you have to call out everything else.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be my point.
I think
like literally,
I do think that's unbelievably shitty. I do think that's unbelievably bad.
Not just shitty, dude. You bang on with that, but like, probably illegal. And I say probably because regulation will come after that shit. Like, they will. It's like those guys that come along and say you must put a sticker on that says that XYZ about affiliations, or this has the hidden ingredient of this in. Like, regulators will come along and say if you're a fucking call promoting a project, you need to basically endorse. You need to put that as clear as day on your label. Start of the video. I was paid to do this by this project, or I invested in this project, or whatever the fuck it is. Like, that is the sort of shit that regulators will be coming to do. And people that are doing it know that, like, right now. They know that, like, because that's just common sense. It's like what you should do to be a good human being. And if you are withholding information that can materially impact how people deploy capital, their own personal capital, that is the sort of shit that is, like, more often than not, is fraud. It is absolutely fraud. Because it's concealing information to make financial gain. That is the fucking definition of fraud.
And for everyone, except for the insiders, which is what I always say about meme coins, is it disproportionately benefits insiders.
So I think too, like my honest opinion is, like, I don't actually disagree, but I think like the vast majority of people betting on meme coins, right? Especially at the beginning, and I think there's a separate conversation. Retail traders, like, that is the game for everyone, and people that get mad are the people that aren't insiders. That is what happens. That's all the bitching on socials is all the people that don't get into the deals. You'll never hear them bitch if they're in the deal. So it's like, what do you do then? You don't do anything. You don't launch the project. You're like, how do you make money?
It's like, how warped is this guy? Like, seriously, like, I don't know how his life has sort of brought him from birth to where he is right now, to basically sit here on this interview and say, well, what do I not do? Launch the project where I know that it's going to basically dump on a shit ton of millions of people? like, I can't... I'll tell you what you do, mate. It's really fucking simple. You be really open and honest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's going to be something coming later again. And it's like that is what you do. You don't conceal information. You don't deceive. You don't commit fraud. That's what you know. You ask him what you do. I can tell you a bunch of shit that you don't do.
Money then. If sniper, like what do you do? That's always the question.
Just
the question.
To be clear, there's a difference between doing a deal, like, you know, and using the information you have from inside the project to make trading decisions based on that. Those are different things. I can get paid for a tweet, let's say, and as long as I disclose that, I don't think that's necessarily a problem. But if I'm on the side buying up $1 million worth of this coin because I have insider information from my position in the deal, I think that's wrong and should be rooted out. If people think these markets should be treated like capital markets, I mean, that's what all the crypto people say.
And I don't think people should treat them as capital markets because they're not. That's not what they are.
Well, you're the guy in the deals, though. Of course you know, right?
But even the deals which I just like bet on, whether it's like, you know, fucking jail stool or whatever, if I throw money into it, I don't treat it as a regular stock. I'm like, dude, this could go to zero tomorrow. I have no idea.
Imagine being the president of Argentina and tweeting in support of a project that's being fucking ran by this guy. And on top of that, like, how the fuck has this guy become president if this is the extent of his due diligence on individuals and groups that are going to launch a project that you're going to support? Even if you didn't know, president of Argentina, that this was basically a rug pull, like, don't you think you should have fucking done more research on this guy and what his views were? Like, fucking hell.
Right. So it's like, I treat it like a casino because that's what it is.
Yeah, but the weird thing is that the people who always say, like, oh, there shouldn't be like this regulation or that regulation are always the people who are tilting the table at the casino. Like, I hear Dave Portnoy talk about, like, oh, you babies in the trenches, wah, cry. Oh, Dave sold his coin. Okay, first of all, most babies in the trenches aren't getting refunded $5 million. Secondly, Dave.
But that's the point, isn't it? Like, you know, if fucking big bad daddy mafia comes in and loses fucking $5 million at the roulette table and then goes to the owner of the casino, fuck you, give me your money back, and you give him his money back. It's not really gambling, is it? It's stacked, right?
Dave's like, oh, you're mad at me because I dumped on you before you dumped on me, stuff like that.
You're just mad you didn't dump him on fucking me.
It's like, well, Dave.
Hang on a minute. Is that the guy?
People who always say, like, oh, there shouldn't be like this regulation or that regulation are always the people who are tilting the table at the casino. Like, I hear Dave Portnoy talk about, like, oh, you babies in the trenches, wah,
cry. Oh.
What the fuck? It is him. What the fuck, man? It is him. Wow. I did, like, so I just, you know, I watched this interview through, not like totally through, but like, you know, big parts of the interview, and it's him. So like wait a second, this is what this guy, right, thinks of all of you buying tokens. He's got insider information on, by the way, right? That this is going to pump or whatever, right? So we're all going to... It's a Ponzi, right? It's a Ponzi scheme. I'm going to buy up here, and then I'm going to sell all my tokens and make loads of money onto you at the bottom. And then when I sell on all of you, this is what I'm thinking. This is what the guy's thinking.
Casino. Like, I hear Dave Portnoy talk about, like, oh, you babies in the trenches, wah,
cry. Oh, Dave sold his coin.
Okay, first...
So you have this guy with these fucking warped, crazy-ass views that has clearly come through somewhere that he knows the president of Argentina or is part of a team that is connected to it. And Dave Portnoy, bear in mind, which is, you know, a guy that obviously clearly owns like probably even $1 billion media company group, getting this inside information to buy this fucking... This is what I mean about you'd struggle to write this shit and pass it off as plausible as fiction, right? And then he's sat there on social media going, "Where, fuck you guys, ha ha ha!" What a prick.
First of all, most babies in the trenches aren't getting refunded $5 million. Secondly, Dave's like, oh, you're mad at me because I dumped on you before you dumped on me, stuff like that.
You're just mad you didn't dump him on fucking me.
It's like, well, Dave,
Insane.
you're part of what controls what people do because people are trading based on you. So it's like, of course, people inside the casino who control the most levers.
I just again, dude, I'm going to hit subscribe. I don't really subscribe on my channel or personally. I could never really be bothered. I mean, it's bad and naughty. I know I should support content creators better than that. But I have to subscribe and like this guy because like, literally, like, in all seriousness, like, how he keeps his cool with this guy is just something that needs to be celebrated.
Are like, yeah, we don't think there should be any rules as to, like, what we say or what we do as long as we just disclose, like, hey, I'm going to do this to you, not financial advice, whatever.
Let me just say, like, don't, like, people like Dave, for example. Like, Dave A is a good guy, number one. Number two, Dave doesn't know that much about what's going on with meme coins yet. Like, he doesn't. He has no idea. Like, he's just kind of, like, figuring it out. He just figured out a couple weeks ago, like, shit, if I bet on this and I talk about it, the price goes up. This is so crazy and weird. How do I do? Like, what do I do with this?
Crazy and weird. Look. Hold on. I don't want to focus on him because in some ways I appreciate his transparency and it shows a lot of the things that are going on behind the scenes that we don't see. But what I'm just making the larger point, which is that everybody who's like, yeah, we should deregulate this, whatever. It's like, and this shouldn't be treated like everything else. They are also, a lot of the times, you'll find the same people who are rigging the game or have some hand in the game.
And clearly controlling the narrative. I mean, so why wouldn't they discourage deregulation when they're basically fucking making a load of money?
That is an unfair advantage. It's just like what you said. The people who complain are the people without the unfair advantage. The people who don't complain are the people with the unfair advantage. Like, I think that is a true statement. I want to move on, though, from that because, look, like, a lot of this has turned into some of the wallets which are being linked back.
Right, now this is where, like, like I watched before, and this is where it's like, okay, now this is becoming kind of like fucking dystopia. Like, we'll watch.
Back to you are like linked to wallets which sniped the coins that you launched, right? So in the case of Libra, there's the wallet which Dave got refunded by, which is, according to him, your personal funds, was linked to an Avalanche wallet which was funded like a sniper of Libra. So, but if you launch the coin,
this is fucking brilliant. Like, all right, you refunded this dude $5 million from this wallet, then from the same wallet, you then paid a bunch of snipers, which is like people that basically rug pull, to basically rug pull Libra. That is pretty much what is what he's saying there. That would be, I try to think of an equivalent, right? How do you even think of an equivalent of that? Like, all right, let's take, like, I don't know, like, I mean, it's even difficult now when you think about, like, President Trump or Keir Starmer as the prime minister. But let's use like Donald Trump. That is like, Donald Trump's right hand man. Let's say Donald Trump goes and spends $5 million at a casino, right? Just to use this guy's analogy. And Donald Trump's right-hand man, not even Donald Trump's right-hand man, Donald Trump then walking into the same casino in front of everybody, in front of the entire casino, takes out his wallet and goes, give him my $5 million back, right? And then he gets his $5 million back, and then in front of everybody in the casino, and not just the casino, the entire world, by the way, and then goes and takes maybe a $500,000 out of the same wallet, and then pays some guy stood in the corner who's going to come and steal everyone's fucking money off the table in the casino. That is the best analogy I can give. And I mean, I was just like, thinking up of an analogy as like a metaphor as we're going through. That is quite literally what's fucking happened there.
Isn't it unfair for you to snipe the coin?
So
he's going, so why did you go and steal all of that money off everybody's table? Like, why is that fair?
I would say no. and I would say that for a couple different reasons.
Look at his face. Look at this guy's face. And this is exactly what I like. It's like, he's gone. Isn't it fair that you just got to stole all that money from people off the tables? You know, like having just used the same wallet, like same pile of money to pay this guy back who also lost all the money. Like, and he's gone, no. And he says it with the utmost sincerity. Listen to how he says it as well. This isn't just like, oh, you made me think, but I think, you know, here's the reasons why. This is like, oh no, that's fair. And he doesn't stumble. This is like one of those salesmen where you're like, what the fuck? It's like, you know, somebody who's trying to, like, you know, I heard the expression selling sand to an Arab, for example. I don't know if that's an expression that still exists, but it's one that always used to be. It's like, this is somebody who is like, I've just got the kind of, this guy has to have a personality disorder. There is no way he can sit there and go, you know, and say it with such utmost sincerity that there's nothing wrong with that. Let's just look. Listen to how he says it again. Like it's unreal.
There's the wallet which Dave got refunded by, which is, according to him, your personal funds, was linked to an Avalanche wallet, which was funded like a
same
sniper
wallet.
Of
I'm going to pay the fraudster.
So, but if you launch the coin, isn't it unfair for you to snipe the coin?
So I would say no, and I would say that for a couple different reasons. Number one,
I would say no, and here's the reasons. Number one,
other times when, and again, this is like, I mean, again, it's a much larger conversation, which is what I told you in text. But most of the time when he's
struggling at this point. Like, it's just like, my mind is blown, and he's really trying to, again, kudos to you, man, like trying to be like, because I'd be all down this guy's throat at this point. I'd be going, you're a fucking asshole, man. Like, there's no other way of saying it. Like, you are a scammer. You are like the lowest of the low. You might have all this money, but you are not a good human being. And if there is such a place as a hell, you are going to it, because you've done a lot of financial damage to a lot of people. But he's not. He's been chill. He's taking it passively. It's like when you think about, I don't know if anyone's seen it. There's like a series called Mindhunter on Netflix, and you know, they have to sit and they interview the serial killers, and they're like, they don't ever kind of show emotion. They just really, like, this guy does amazingly well at doing that, because this guy's views are so warped. It's unreal.
I have different money in different places, obviously, but from the standpoint of sniping, most of the time when we're sniping, we're attempting to avoid other snipers getting in, right? So whether that's, and by the way, I don't conduct snipes.
I'm trying to front run the snipers, is what he's saying. The people that like steal all the money, we're gonna try and stop them from stealing money by stealing money first. Oh, yeah.
iPhone 16, the first iPhone built for Apple Intelligence.
I'm not a dev. I just want to throw that out there for, like, I don't even know how to. If you put me in front of a computer and had me try and figure out how to snipe, I don't even know I've never done a bot. I don't know any of that shit.
But you're not denying that wallets linked to you sniped Libra. But you're just saying you didn't do it.
Link to the project. I wouldn't say link to me. I would say link to the project.
Link to the wallet which refunded Dave, which Dave said was your personal funds.
That just happened to be at the time of stress where we moved money from, but that was just a mistake. I mean, if anything, because like
again, it's not a mistake that we did it. It's a mistake that we got caught.
Like in that particular case, all I would do is, like, that money, when it went back into the chart, it would just flow through another wallet back into the chart. Like, that money that we consider sniping, quote unquote, is the project's money.
So it's saying that the project used money to basically steal a load of money from the people that bought the token of the project. So openly admitting that they paid for, like, a tool, in this case a sniper bot, from other people, insiders, to then steal this before, what he's saying, other sniper bots could do that. I mean, it's actually unreal. I mean, I'm sure the FBI are looking at this, by the way. They must be. I mean, it sounds like this guy's American. I'm guessing he is. I mean, let's have a look. We'll find that out. Yeah, Hayden Davis. See if there's any Wikipedia about him. I don't know if there will be. No, it doesn't seem to be. Oh, no. These are the same guys. So let's just click back a second. The block. I won't go through all this because it's just going to ruin some of the content. But I mean, I would love to know where he's from. I'm sure if anyone can find that, put down there. I'm guessing American. You know, it sounds American. But yeah, I think someone has to be looking at this. I don't know who. Must be like basically organizations that investigate financial crime, right? I don't know whether that's a part of the FBI or what. People can tell me below, but it's quite literally unreal that there is clear admittance of fraud here, and a thought-out decision to do that. Sounds like an advance of time to me.
Right. That's how we do it. Anytime we've done it, that's how we do it.
Anytime we do it,
And
that's how we do it.
most
So
of the time,
that
the
is
snipe-
definitely like premeditated, right? It's the difference between manslaughter and murder. If you get in a fight with someone, you kill them, it's like manslaughter, right? If you think I'm gonna go and kill that person, that's murder, premeditated, thought about it. And this is the same thing he's saying here. It's like anytime we've launched these coins, like meme coins, we've always planned to snipe the liquidity. And the reason that it justifies that is because other people or other groups are going to try and snipe it first. I mean, there are things like anti-sniper bots. There's a load of things that you can try and do to combat sniping without being the thief yourself, right? It's crazy.
Is to deter, and if there's enough volume on the project, we use it so that it has the ability to continue on. And I think that's very hard for people to understand.
I will agree. I will agree with that. I think that is going to be hard to understand.
Because you have like look, right? You have, and I'll give you a great example. If you look at Trump and you look at the snipes, right? Trump had so much volume, the snipes didn't matter. They made zero difference.
No, wait, hang on. That's not true. There was a guy who sniped early for $1 million. The big crash in Melania that everyone attributes to Melania was actually that sniper selling like tens of millions of dollars of coins.
Like the one that did like 80.
Right, so they're talking about a different project here called Melania, which is supposedly the official meme coin of the First Lady, Melania Trump. Melania Trump. Just for those of you that, again, not sure who that is. This is Melania, and she is the First Lady. She is the wife of President Donald Trump, and she did release a token called Melania, which is here currently at these levels. So what's going on here in this conversation is he's going, well, hang on a minute, like, because this guy Hayden was saying, well, if there's enough volume, the snipers are not a big of a problem, so we're trying to create that volume again, which is in financial markets a crime, like artificial volume. You can only be trading within certain margins of the volume and yada yada, because again it creates deceit and makes it seem like there's more volume than there is, which can, artificially make people make like kind of investment or purchase decisions because of that. It's just insane. So he's saying, it didn't matter so much on Trump because they had the volume. So what he's suggesting is that they create the volume so that if the snipers do sell, it doesn't matter so much. That's what he's saying, which is just fucking crazy. Like, this is all like, I mean, everyone kind of knows that this happens in some cases, but not by project teams that are launching tokens on behalf of fucking countries and prime ministers and man.
84 mil, right? That one.
Yeah.
I mean, we could argue all day. My point is, sniping when you're the team. I'm not saying it always should happen, but I'm saying a lot of times it's to protect and if there's enough volume, take some off so that people can have a chance to pump the chart back up. Because with meme coins, they go up and down so fast, these projects can get killed in 2 days. And the only hope is that you have enough of a treasury to go and try and beat the snipers. This is a conversation that goes on with everybody in Solana. Everybody that knows how these launches work, that is the conversation.
This is not good, by the way. I mean, I don't have. That's not a good thing to say of the Solana community, I mean, you know, that's a wider thing I don't want to get into, but like,
Do you
Always.
think the public knows that when a project launches, the project is going to snipe the project? Because being the most charitable, right? Which I'm just going to really stretch my brain and be super charitable here and say all of this money is not being intended to be profit. It's all for the project, right? I think
Yes.
the public not knowing that like you have these, clandestine activities with these like side wallets going on is inherently like kind of messed up, and like the project is controlling the project.
yeah, basically it's just saying it's just pure manipulation. Obviously, I'm gonna skip back at it because obviously this video is already really long, but I mean, and I won't go through the whole video. We're gonna cut this short here somewhere, but and look, because he's talking about like what you're gonna do about all this money you've got and whatever, but just this next bit, right? Like I really want to go to, because this is the bit where it kind of just the whole you question your sanity, right? Is here, right? We just wait for this to boot up. We gotta love YouTube ads.
Were you part of the Melania launch, and was that sniped as well?
So after all the discussion about the ethics of sniping, yada yada yada, it's like, well, people have linked you to the Melania launch through like basically blockchain analysis, looking at your wallets and stuff, and this is where it's.
I mean, look, I think that I told you like beforehand before this started. I mean, I'm happy to share the truth, but I mean, you're asking a question that's it's just, I mean, I'll answer, but it's just factually going to put me into a lot of danger, which is fine. I'll answer. I was part of it. I think the team did want to snipe it because of how big the snipe was on Trump's.
Right. That is like, I'm not surprised he's worried about his life being in danger with that admission, because, and I hope the guy doesn't get killed. I hope truly, obviously you don't really want anyone to get killed, but I hope he has to like relay, like, be part of, I doubt this will happen. I think he'll probably get away scot-free, but I think he should be accountable for what he said here and explain in greater depth. But what is insane here is, and why I understand he's worried, is that he's saying that he was part of the team that launched the Melania coin, the first lady of the United States, and the team wanted to snipe the liquidity, like and that's why his reaction's like that, because let's just take that back a second, just to understand the kind of the significance of what this guy is saying here.
Which is, were you part of the Melania launch, and was that sniped as well? Which is
Beforehand, before this started, I mean, I'm happy to share the truth, but I mean, you're asking a question that's it's just, I mean, I'll answer, but it's just factually going to put me into a lot of danger, which is fine. I'll answer. I was part of it.
It's part of it.
I think the team did want to snipe it because of how big the snipe was on Trump's.
How much money?
And we weren't we definitely weren't the big sniper. We were not that was what we were trying to avoid. And we didn't make any, there was no money made from the Melania team on any, we didn't take any liquidity out. Zero.
okay. Wow. That's like shocking news. But I want to zoom in on that point. You said like, well, we didn't take any liquidity out. One of the wallets we traced to the Portnoy thing, thing. Your wallet or not? I don't know if it's your wallet. Whoever's wallet that was sent money to a wallet which had got sent $1.5 million of Melania token from something called Melania-liquidity2.sol. And then that wallet seemed to sell Melania tokens that it received for free. So you said y'all didn't sell any liquidity, but
didn't swap liquidity. Didn't swap liquidity. Didn't swap into single-sided. I didn't say there was no money sold. There's a difference between swapping the liquidity and selling liquidations. Those are two different things.
Yeah, true, but you were trying to make
so
out that you
swapped, you didn't sell, or the other way around.
No, other way around.
Sold, you didn't swap.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. So are those the two main launches you were involved in? Have you? I've heard a few other launches like Hood. Was that also you?
No.
Okay. Okay. What? Look, dude. I mean, this is messed up. But let's try to get to this $100 million. Thank you for being kind of transparent about your feeling about these things. I do feel like you have, been honest about this.
I mean, look,
you're sitting on $100 million.
Here's the thing. Before I talk about 100 million, I'm just gonna say one thing. With all of this stuff, right? All these things. There's nothing particularly people have tried to say how is he involved with Dave and Malay, right? I am not any person that's special. I've hunted all this stuff down because I was trying to get to I wanted two things. One, I thought that meme coins were a step in the point of social finance, and I think I'm turning out that that's wrong, and everybody wants to kill me instead for facilitating some of these. But I think B, I think you and everyone else should at least take a fucking second and look at what should people do and how should people make money from these. Because there's basically one way, right? There's fees, which are very nominal on big launches. And then there's also, of course, the platforms that make fuckloads of money. No matter if there's a rug pull or a project goes well or not, which I completely disagree with.
Yeah,
I
they
completely
sell shovels.
and I completely disagree with it. Pump funds, fucking full of shit. Meteora, Jupiter, Bullex, Photon, all these guys, it doesn't matter. They're just making money on trading fees, and if people lose their shorts, they're still cooking, which I think is fucking bullshit.
Man, the deflection, just the narcissism, I want a psychologist to listen to this and tell me what is wrong with this guy. Don't get me wrong, I'm not defending the platforms or anything like that. Everybody needs to be accountable. I mean, it's very difficult to say whether the platform should or shouldn't do anything about this. This is an entirely separate video about decentralization and accountability within it. But to deflect how he and his teams have used these platforms and the decisions that they've made as individuals, irrespective of the tooling allows me to do this and they make money anyway and yada yada yada, and the deflection, nah, man. Right, look, okay guys, we are over the hour. I've done about half this video. I mean, I may come back to it at some point and do the other hour if there's enough kind of interest. But I think just even doing an hour on this for basically, you could write an entire doctorate on blockchain and meme coins in general about everything that's wrong with it, and the general danger right now, and this is as bad as it gets right now for people stepping into this space, and this shouldn't be let lie, man. I mean, this is really bad. So I'm gonna do some more videos on shit like this. And, in this case, I'm just literally reacting to this guy's video who's obviously managed to engage this criminal, really. But at least this fucking criminal's standing in front of, doing the interview, talk about what he's done and at least even somewhat about why, even though he's very warped, clearly. and there was many better decisions that could have been made. But as much as what is going on underneath the hood right now is insane. So yeah, you know, guys, if you like this video, even though it is reaction to Mr. Voidzilla, make sure you give him a like and a subscribe. Watch the full video over there if you want. Come back here. Obviously, make sure you like and subscribe here. The more engagement and following that happens, the more videos I will do. It's purely kind of fun at the moment in time, but I think mainly I feel like there needs to be a call to action for calling a lot of this shit out, man. I mean, this is like some crazy shit that's going on in the crypto world right now. Yeah, I mean, it is like the Wild West. So be careful out there, guys. I think if anything, this should just underline the reasons you should stay away from meme coins. Utility all the way. It's always been about real builders, real projects, real coins. Let's get some more attention back on those guys. I'm going to do more videos on actual real projects and real coins, moving away from this shit. But look, you have to draw attention to this. It has to be done. But so yeah, like, subscribe, follow. Appreciate it, guys. Follow Mr. Voidzilla here. You know, if you find out also you've got interesting things for me to look at, go in the comments, and like I say, if there's enough interest, we'll do a second video on the other half. Cheers, guys. Take it easy. Peace out.